Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for F1 Manager 22, as we continue our worst to first run here with Williams Racing. And, hey, we're not worst. We're in 9th place. So, you know, not a terrible first race when you consider that. We're on our season objective, which is awesome. But we've got a lot of work ahead of us if we want to continue this push up. This first season, especially, probably this first couple of seasons, but definitely this first season is all about building a good foundation for our development up this ladder through the future. So don't expect a lot this first season. Apologies if it's boring, but the goal here is to pick the right drivers, pick the right staff, pick the right buildings in our facility, and of course, maybe most importantly, picking the right car parts to improve so that we can have a better car next year and then the year after that, and really start working our way up this list as best as possible. So let's go ahead and jump into our emails here and see what happened. We got the helipad upgrade increase, so a little bit more money coming back into us from our sponsors. Awesome. Although we haven't really hit any sponsor objectives yet, I don't think. I'm not sure. Yeah, we haven't hit our targets yet. We'll get there, but at least increasing team attractiveness. And I don't know. I think I'm going to max out the helipad because why not? I'd like to get as much money as possible once we start hitting those objectives. So apparently they were working on a suspension project before I joined the team. So that is now complete. So we'll go look at that here in a moment. Cool. And then post-race overview. I'm not going to go over that because obviously we didn't do super great, but did better than I thought we would. Apparently the board is happy with our expectations. And post-race debrief. Okay, so we definitely want to give... We're going to give the new part to Albin. He is our better driver at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and do that. He's going to be our primary. And it was suspension, right? So if we come here and we go to change to S2 here. A little bit better on the medium speeds, a little bit better on the top speeds, and very, like, microscopically better on all of these. Now, I will say, this actually puts us, okay, this puts us better than our other car. Still very low, but it does give him the better car. So I think that's okay. It's on car 2. Now, we've only got one of these parts. So if this part gets damaged, we have to resort back to the S1. We've got 4 S1s. So again, as they get damaged, we can replace them, but only one S2. So something to consider. We might need to develop some more S2s or just develop better parts in the first place. Things on the powertrain, I believe we cannot... I think we can only do aerodynamic stuff during the season, and the powertrain stuff has to go off season. I think that's where the two differentiate between them. Car part development. Obviously, we've got projects going. We've got several days until both of these come out. All of our engineers are currently being used. I could have done 2, 2, and 2 maybe. I'm okay with the 3 and 3 for now, but we might change that up in the future. With the helipad being done, I think we will go ahead and go upgrade that some more. I'm just going to max this out. Maybe it's dumb. Maybe it's not. I think if we start getting better attractiveness and better sponsors, once we can actually start hitting those numbers, I think we'll be happy with this. So we're going to go ahead and do this. It's not super expensive, and I think the long-term payout will be worth it. I think we're still upgrading the scouting department. We could upgrade some of these things as well, and that's probably pretty important. I wouldn't mind some more engineers in our... Like, we really need to work on a design center a lot. That's really important for us. Once we get good drivers, the weekly experience gain would be actually a really good thing for us to pick up. Obviously, continue to develop our attractiveness. I'm not worried about the weather center until we actually start competing for real. Memorabilia room would be... no, that's just team attractiveness. The tour center, though, a little bit extra income could be useful at some point as well. Let's actually work on our design center. We really need to get as much design stuff. Oh my goodness. I think we've got to go for it. This is a big one. I think we really need this one. We need to make our vehicles the best they possibly can be. That is a lot of money, though. Oh. Wow, we're already up to the race weekend coming up here soon. This might actually be a shorter episode than I thought it would be. When's our scouting going to be done? I'm looking for there. Does it say when we're... Oh, 2 more days. Okay, I see it now. Okay. So a couple more days on the scouts. All right. Wow. I guess we're going to get right into the next race right away. That is okay. I'm okay with that. Let's look at our performance ones. Again, probably the same type of stuff. I mean, I'm not really expecting much of anything from any of this stuff. Would be nice to reach some of these extra qualifyings. 15th, I don't think 15th is a stretch, I'll be honest. I think we could eventually get 15th. So there's a potential that we could get a little bit extra money coming in at some point, but not expecting it just yet, but I think we're close. A little bit more development, and maybe we'll be all right.
Formula One is back. Welcome to one of the fastest circuits on the calendar here at Jeddah. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is about to kick off, and the atmosphere here is electric. The Jeddah street circuit has one of the fastest average speeds, as well as the most corners of any track on the calendar. Good high-speed downforce is going to make life in the fast lane a little easier for drivers here this weekend. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. What will happen this weekend? Only time will tell.
All right, let's go. Looks like partly cloudy, but no rain or anything like that, so that's fine. Go to practice 1. You know what, I might manage this practice because I think this episode's gonna be a little bit shorter because we're already to the race day. So why not? Let's see what this is about. So we want to send our guys out. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. If we send them out early, then there's less crowd on the track. Like there's less people out there, so less chance of issues and things like that. However, the earlier we send them out, the less track rubber's down. So our timings might not be perfect. But just something to consider. Same thing for qualifying, stuff like that. The earlier you send them out, there's good in some ways, bad in others. But let's just go ahead and send you out as is. Unless can we reconfigure anything? Like how is this? Are we going to be playing this like? You know what? I think we will play this like we do FM or not FM, Motorsport Manager. Really putting these on the edges so that we can. Let's see. How do we adjust this? That way we know if he says it's not enough, then we know which direction to go. No, I just got to learn the different settings. Sorry, I'm trying to get the braking stability in a good spot. Okay, so that literally is toe out, is the braking. So I can adjust everything else and then adjust that one last. So this changes 4 things. This changes 4 things. This changes everything. And this changes everything. So the one that changes the straights the most is rear wing. So we'll put that on one edge. And then we'll bring this back. Okay, what changes oversteer the most? Probably not camber. Probably. Actually, it really is. Do front wing. Put that there. Rear wing, we'll bring it back a little bit. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Cornering. Just gotta bring the cornering back in a little bit. Honestly, that's pretty good. That's on the edges of all of them. And we'll be able to get his feedback on whether or not this is optimal or not. Let's go with it. I just want to try and practice and see what it does. We'll do the same thing with you. Car setup. You're already very close to the edges on a lot of these. So rear wing to change the straights. Guess we'll put it down there. Front wing right there. Cornering. What was cornering the best with? So anti-rose traction. Tire camber really helps our cornering a bit. Can I figure out a way to get this? Not really. I didn't realize that helped cornering as well, just a smidge. Oh, I can see the highlights now. I'll be all right. Just gotta get used to these settings and stuff. I really want that cornering to be slightly better. It's really not getting the... It's really that traction one and the straights. I don't think it's going to be possible for me to get kind of what I'm looking for. I think one of them's going to have to be off, right? Like, that might be about as close as we're going to get. All right, we'll go with that. And we will unpause, reconfiguring. As soon as we get the option. Oh, I see the reconfiguring numbers now. Arguably, I should have just sent them out as is, because actually it's going to take the entire practice session to reconfigure. Well, now we know. All right, send you out. Let you get a little bit of a start. All right, we'll send you out. I guess we're still in practice 1. I'm not sure what the timer here is for, actually. I just assumed that was different practice sessions, which 5 minutes for a practice session is extremely small. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that is. We are getting a little bit of rain, interestingly enough, or at least a chance of rain. I guess they just run practice until we tell them to stop. I guess we can call you back in. I'm assuming you guys have gotten enough knowledge. Usually, you know, like a lap or two is all you need. Although, one big thing is we do need to get the track acclimation in a good spot. I guess we can wait till these both cap out. Maybe. I'm actually not sure how long these things run for. We do have some feedback, though, that we can make some adjustments with. Looks like here about another lap.
When you have it, give me feedback on balance.
Feeling too much instability.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a trigger to... Okay, you're already coming back in. You're already coming back. Okay, that's fine. I guess they come back in on their own after a few laps. Fair enough. We'll bring them back in. All right, we'll do some reconfiguring based on information. So straights is great. Good to know. Both of these are bad. So I'm assuming we need to go pretty far the other way. So let's go all the way over to the other side, maybe for... Well, bad is maybe not very bad. So let's just put it more... I don't know how to read this. I'm trying to think of how to read this compared to what I know from Motorsport, right? We want to keep the straights as close as possible. Honestly, something like that might not be terrible. Then we can just bring... We got to figure out how to get the straights back. Which one was straights rear? Yeah. Maybe something like that, I think. Oh, tires, yeah. I guess we need to give you some more softs. Use up all of our softs. And then we'll get you reconfigured here in a moment, my friend. Oh, it's all bad. It's all bad. Well, presumably straight's probably the other direction. I don't know if there's a very bad or if it's just, if bad is just bad. In other words, do I need to move a lot? Do I need to move a little bit? You know what I mean? I do feel like we need to move a pretty significant amount for a lot of these. Traction. Honestly, that's a pretty significant move for all of those. So, then we'll put some new tires on and go. Send you both out. Hopefully get some more knowledge. I'm assuming this goes for an hour, is what this is telling me. So I guess we're going until 1800, and that's all of practice one. Oh no, he just spun. I'm okay, I'm not injured.
I think that was a crash.
Sorry, guys. You okay?
Did he like actually crash?
Yeah, fine.
Oh no. Guess we'll call the car back in. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, did we get enough information? We got a little bit of feedback. All we know about is cornering is bad. Great. Okay. What's going to change the cornering the most? Kind of want to keep some of these other ones just kind of close to where I had them. Something like that. Tires are still okay. I guess we need to install... Yes? I don't know if we care. If it's just minor damage, do we care? I honestly don't know. Guess we'll learn. Oh, I see the feedback. So I guess once we get 5 feedback, we can bring them back in. Maybe that's how we play it. Three. Which may happen as soon as like we may be coming back in automatically anyway, so we'll see.
Back on the car.
So okay, he's talking. Okay, that's good.
So much speed.
We can bring you back in. Good, good,
Copy,
good.
Copy.
All right, let's see here. All right, good. So not great, but good. So we just want to move a little bit on the oversteer. Straights is still bad. So let's see here. Straights, obviously we know moves a lot. So we're going to go all the way to this other end with straights. We want to keep cornering and oversteer close. We want to move braking quite a bit. And we want to move traction quite a bit. This is really coming down to like how well do I know how to maneuver these things. I really want to move cornering better. Okay, that actually might work. Those are both still pretty close. Those are moved quite a bit. We'll try that. Okay. And then we'll change the tires again. We're going through a lot of tires in this practice session. Probably want to keep at least 2 softs for the race day. I guess we can run a medium at some point, maybe. Again, learning. I'm glad there's enough similar to Motorsport Manager that I'm not completely lost. All right, come on, let's get you a couple more tidbits of info, please. Guess we'll send you out. Actually, it's about to end session, so never mind. I should not have sent you out. Do I need to call car in, or is it going to come in automatically? I'm assuming it comes back in automatically. Yeah, he's heading to the garage. All right. I don't think we got anything off that last one. I should not have sent him out, but it's not a big deal. Cool. Well, we're getting there. That's interesting. So that's just practice 1, right? Yeah. So we still have 2 more practice sessions. I do want to change some stuff. So this one's untested. Right? This is the one I've most recently changed to, so we're going to leave that one there. Car 2, though. Okay, we do have information. So we're great on cornering now. And then traction we don't know about, and the other 2 we're bad on. Sure, straights is still bad, really. I thought we had your straights locked in. Oh, we're way over here. How did that end up over there? I was not, apparently I didn't realize it was over there. Okay, let's go to the highest confidence setup. Okay, fair enough. And then, which is this one. We want to definitely start adjusting things quite a bit here. So there's a traction jump. That's going to be a big traction jump. Definitely want to move those. Rear wing we want to keep pretty close to the same. Moving traction too much. Honestly, it's probably about as good as anything. So let's start with that. We do need a new set of tires. That's fine. Oh, I see the plans now. We can lengthen and increase the plans. We'll go with the way it is. I'm okay with this setup for now. I'm okay with all that stuff for now. I don't think there's any reason to change that right this second. So yeah, that's that. Let's go with that setup. Thankfully, I think we'll be set up for that going into the practice, so that way we don't have to wait for it to be, you know, configured. All right, we're gonna try this again. I'm not gonna do practice sessions the entire season. I just want to do it for one race, just to see what we can do.
Copy, radio check.
All right, as soon as we get 5 of 5, we'll bring them back in. It's good to see our part knowledge is going up pretty good. Track knowledge is still pretty low, though. But I suppose if you get at least close to 33%, that's actually not bad. Because if you got 3 practice sessions, 33% apiece, that's actually pretty good overall. Wonder if those knowledges go up faster if you've got like a perfect setup. Come on, 5 of 5. Let's go. There we go.
Car balance feedback when capacity.
Yep. Car is okay.
The car is okay. All right, call you in. So it's interesting that we sent him out second, but he got the knowledge first. Wonder if there's, I'm sure there's a stat for the driver that lets them kind of develop things faster, or understand things faster. Oh, so there is an optimal. Good to know. So grade is not the highest. That is good to know. Cornering's good. These other ones are bad. So I'm guessing braking stability needs to be just the other side. Traction needs to be the other side. We're very close on everything else though. So let's focus on traction. I mean, that's about as big a push on traction as we're going to get. Push the toe out over that way. Probably need a little bit on cornering. And then we don't want these other ones to change that much. Honestly, we might accept great on those. Tiny change, but not much. I think this is actually pretty good. And then we'll change the tires. Still have plenty of tires for later. Do I want to swap to some mediums? for a round? I think I will. I don't know how much of a difference it'll make on our setup. I'm sure it'll make some difference, but I feel like we need to at least run some mediums. Did you get 5 of 5? You did not get 5 of 5. Wow, that's annoying.
Okay. Massive on the steel. Roger.
How did I not change this? I'm so confused what's going on here. We're great for cornering. We know that straights needs to be way over there. Something just didn't change, I guess. So we know that's basically great for that. We got to bring this one back. And then we need to really aggressively change these other ones. Actually, that's pretty good. Oversteer probably needs to change a little bit, though. What would that be under? I just need to change the oversteer just a smidge. Alright, something like that. I think it's going to have to be what it is. Alright, we'll try that. I'm assuming the tires are still bad. Yes, and we're going to send you out on mediums as well. We'll see what happens. Maybe mediums changes up things too much and we don't actually get to where we want to be, but kind of curious. We're almost at 100% on part knowledge, which is pretty cool. That's going to give us our full 3 points there. You still got a ways to go on part knowledge. I'm assuming your wreck kind of affected things quite a bit. We're stuck on 98. We're not going to get any more. Really not getting as much information as I was hoping we'd get. Made a mistake. No. It's all right, buddy. Get back in it.
Copy.
And that's the lockup.
3 of 5. Come on, get some more information. All right, well, I guess we'll have to deal with 4 or 5. That's unfortunate.
When you have it, give me feedback on balance.
Cool, good for me. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, good job, guys.
Copy.
We might have time to do one more send out maybe. Okay, well, we're at 90%. That's not bad. Optimal, great, great, great. And then a good on the braking. So honestly, really probably just tweak the braking a smidge. Which would be the toe out. Probably just bring it back this way. See if that is the right direction. And then everything else basically changes the same, stays the same. I think anything above 90% is pretty solid for us. So this is how long it takes to configure. 4 minutes. Okay, fair enough. And then if we were to change to... At most, we're going to run one medium in the race. So I think that's okay. Suppose we could go out on hards. Just to try those out. Why not? It's going to take us 4 minutes, 39 seconds. I guess that's enough time to get one more kind of out before, because we got 10 minutes left of the practice. Oh, you're at 5. So let's go bring you in. We might have time to get you configured as well. Barely. All right, what are we looking at, buddy? All right, we're getting there. It's not amazing, but traction is probably the biggest one. What's the biggest move for traction? Probably anti-roll. Yes, it is. And we really cannot... We're going to have to go all the way over there. We want to keep cornering and oversteer pretty close to where they're at today. Which I guess is kind of that. And then we want braking to shift a bit. I mean, that's about as good as we're going to get, I think. I guess we'll go hards on you as well. Why not? 439. I think we have time, just enough time to get a couple more laps. Maybe not enough to get really any good solid information, but we'll see. And I see the timer now for the actual session. Maybe it's not worth going out again, but we're going to try. We get like one, if we can at least get one of these to come back with some feedback. That's a positive, I would say. Is it going to happen? And enough, nothing else. We get more track familiarization. Looks like we're not getting any more feedback, unfortunately. So it is what it is. We'll have to do the last practice session. That should let us lock it in.
We return for the next day of our highly anticipated...
All right, let's I think this is what we wanted to stick with for now. Same for yours, right? Yes. Oh, they're saying traction's great. We got a little bit of feedback. That's awesome. So we want to go ahead and send these guys out. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and send them out on... We could probably send them out on softs at this point. We'll manage this last one, just because I'm curious if I can get this as close to 100% as possible.
Radio check.
We need to send you out first, because you're more important.
Radio check.
Honestly, I think one more round of feedback, we're going to be locked in. So then it's just a matter of getting that track acclimatization. Track optimization is not going up at all for you. Oh, there it is. I guess it hadn't refreshed itself. That was weird. Come on, 5 of 5. Hey, 100%. Yay.
Back on the car.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see the reconfigure pop up. All right. So we've had a 90%. We actually went down a little bit. I think the braking needs to be better, but I guess the cornering was the one that went down. It needs to be on the left side. So we can see our best. Oh, I can see the green now. Okay. Yeah. Man, I don't know how to get this locked in better. I mean, we have a 90% if we want to revert to it, so it's not the end of the world. Actually, that's pretty good. Maybe something like that. We'll put you back on hards again at this point. $93, not bad. I mean, really minimal tweaking at this point, right? I mean, maybe just something just to say. Probably settle on the 93 though. I'm going to put you back on the hards again as well. I think that 93 is going to be what it is.
We've had a crash.
All right. Well, there we go. Like I said, I think it's cool to do at least a practice session just to see what it looks like. It's going to make this episode a little bit long again, but probably won't do any more practice sessions for the rest of the season, to be perfectly honest. Just kind of wanted to see what we could do. Really need to get your part knowledge up, my friend. Looks like it's not really going to go up anymore. Although we will get more track knowledge, thankfully. Wonder if that part knowledge is something to do with the new part we just put on your car, or something to do with your personal stats and attributes, maybe? Don't know. I got 20 minutes of practice left, so this is probably our last kind of run out. All right, let's see here. Can we do anything with the information we've got? So we actually don't know what it is currently. We're at 3 optimals though. That's pretty good. Honestly, I think at this point we just change tires real quickly and then we send you back out as is. I guess we'll put on these mediums. Truth be told, we could leave you on the hards. They've got enough left on them. Whatever. Maybe it's a mistake. Let's try it. So we still have a question mark for you as well. But 3 optimals again. So I think again, same thing. We send you out as is with mediums. Just go. Let you guys try to get as much track stuff as possible. We're able to get that up a little bit higher.
Okay. Not happy.
Are you really at 99%? We're at 96. Wow, that's impressive. I was going to be happy with anything over 90. 95 and 90, or 96 and 99 is okay. Well, at least we know we can do it. That's pretty awesome. Part knowledge is still not great, my friend, but I guess we'll have to accept it is what it is. All right, yeah, that was a really good session, I think. I mean, we had 11 points when I automated. Yeah, when I automated it. That's what I'm looking for. So will we have more than 11 points now? I don't know. Oh, yeah. I would say 14 points is more than 11, so we'll take it. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, if we try it, we can definitely push it up a little bit higher. Really, the track acclimatization, which probably if we automated it would have been 100%, just because of how they do things, most likely. But no, this is good. This is really good. All right, we are going to sim qualifying. Don't care about that. I just wanted to run the practice just to see if we can. Like, what does it look like? How does it work? As usual, we got kicked out in the first round of qualifying. Not surprising there at all.
Tension continues to build here as
All right, are we running our best car setup? So we are. Everything else looks good. We do need to set up a strategy. I think I'm going to run A with you. I mean, this one's tempting, but 2 extra pits, or extra pit, I don't think is usually what you want to do. So we'll run B with you. We'll just flip-flop them. That way we're pitting at different times. Yeah, I just don't know. The fact that we're not running any softs is interesting. I have a feeling we can be pretty aggressive here. So you know what? I'm going to do this. Just for the first couple of laps. We're going to push it really hard. Just to see what happens. That's usually what I would do in Motorsport. So, again, taking some of my knowledge about Motorsport Manager, seeing if it's applicable here. Some of it so far has been, which is pretty cool.
and it's lights out, and away we go.
Really want to watch you mostly, I think. They're so fast. mean, the fact that you're on high or hards is really gonna, you know, not be the greatest for you, but we'll see. Oh no, you made a mistake. Well, don't do that again.
Copy.
All right, let's go ahead and jump up to 16. Let it run for a bit. I'm going to keep an eye on this. Once we dip negative, which we just did, we're going to go back down to
I
balanced.
think there's been a lockup.
DRS is enabled.
Stop locking up.
Increase lifting code. Yep, copy.
Once we start dipping a bit, we are starting a little bit, but we'll keep it going just a little bit longer. A noticeable dip, I'll start cutting back on the tires a bit. You're still okay over here, I think. You might need to swap here momentarily. Honestly, I think you can push almost all the way. All right, you can go back up to a push on your fuel, I think.
And a new position just gained by Williams. And there's an overtake from Williams.
All right, we're going to push you back down to aggressive. See if that slows down your tires a bit. You're really right on the line right now. You could probably go halfway on this more aggressive pace. All right, you need to go back down to balanced. Honestly, I think you're doing all right. Okay, you need to come down to aggressive at the highest. All right, so we're in the pit window. We still got quite a bit of tread left, so I think we're good. You can actually go to a push, I think.
We look at reducing the lift and core.
Copy.
All right, we're a bit below the curve of where we want to be. Is it going to fix itself over the next lap or two? You're right on where we want. Okay, so you're going to go back down to balanced.
New race position for Haas.
All right, you have to go down to standard. I think you're just too low on your tires right now. I think we will pit you, I guess, if this is the optimal pit spot for us. And we're going to go highs as planned.
And box.
Box, box.
Put you back up to attack for a bit.
Go push.
Copy.
That puts us down pretty far, but we don't have to pit again the rest of the race. So that's maybe to our benefit, maybe not. Don't know. Let's go back up to push for a bit.
Haas with an overtake there.
All right, let's come back down. th place is not great. Thought we could get up there in the 15th, 16th spots. You're still doing good on your tires, which is good. All right, so we're in our pit window. We're actually pretty low on the tires. We're going to stick it out as long as we can. We might have to pit early, though, and just baby the last set of tires more. Because if we look at the graph here, we do have a lot left over when the race is over. So we can pit early safely. Like that's fine. All right, we are below the line. I think we go ahead and pit. We do need mediums, unfortunately, but that's okay. Like, if we were to be able to push it longer with the hards, we might be able to go to softs, but that is not going to happen. And we're going to push back down to balance for now. All right, we're good.
Yeah, roger. Is everything okay?
Now, you're going to be right on the line when we finish the race, so we've got to be a little more cautious with you. Let's say as soon as we start dipping, we probably need to drop it down to just aggressive. We're going to start you off on attack until we see what it's going to look like. We pit early, so we do have to take that into account, obviously. All right, we're looking good here. I think we can go push on both of you. All right, we're already starting to dip a little bit on your yellows. We'll go with that. You're a little bit low, but still doing okay.
Who's running wide there?
17th and 18th. I mean, it's not bad, but...
We're not happy with fuel.
I'm okay with the fuel. We got, what, 11 laps left? No, we're fine. I mean, it's close. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna get close, but I'm watching it, so I think we're okay. All right, tires are starting to burn a bit more than I would like, so we're gonna have to drop you down to standard. That's probably where you're gonna have to stay the rest of the race, unfortunately. I get that you think your fuel's getting low, but you've got 8 laps left, effectively. No, you're fine. Like, how many laps do you actually have left? Do we have a way to see that? I don't, unless I'm blind, I'm not seeing exactly how many laps you actually have left, but I think we're fine. Yeah, we're half a lap under, according to this, if that's what I'm reading that right. But I don't think it's a problem. Fine. Just so you'll be quiet. We'll go drop you down. We may have to drop you down on your tires. We got a little bit of cushion there, but not a lot. And for the last few laps, I think we're going to go as aggressive as we can on the...
Low fuel, so be mindful of that. Yes.
I got it. You're fine. Fine. Just so you be quiet too. I'm going to push you down as well. All right, we're going to go down to standard. I think this is going to be how it has to be for the rest of the race. But on the ERS, I think we're going to start being more aggressive. I don't know that we're not going to be able to catch 11 seconds. There's no way. So it's not going to matter. Honestly, the neutral's probably fine. I mean, both drivers being above, you know, Aston Martin is an improvement. But 17th was as good as we got last time, and we're still in 17th. So, it doesn't look like we're going to get any better. Fuel's looking okay. Tires are looking, well, a little bit low on this guy. Maybe we pushed it a little bit too long. He'll be all right, though. This guy should be perfect, almost perfect. And then the fuel, I think we're basically perfect as well. Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Where's up managing?
You've only got like a lap left, lap and a half, my friend.
Copy.
Hang in there. And then you're almost perfect.
Guys, these oscillations are killing me. Anything we could do?
Seventeen, 18. I mean,
Over the finish
it's
line.
keeping our pace, right? That's where we want to be. Not bad. So we're still 17th there. Latifi actually moved up a spot, which is awesome. Overall for constructors, we're still in 9th place as expected. Yeah, I mean, Haas is pretty good. They're a significant jump ahead of us, right? So we've got a lot of ground to gain to be able to catch them. No extra bonuses, unfortunately, but we're getting there. We're learning some stuff. All right, well, there we go. Another hour-long episode. But again, we did a lot of practice on this one. We won't do practice again in the next episode. So expect the next several episodes probably to be quite a bit shorter, since we're just going to skip right to the race and just run it. But it was fun trying to go through the practice just to see what it looks like and kind of work on that. But yeah, there we go, guys. Let me know what you think again in the comments below. Are you enjoying the content? Are you learning about the game? Do you have thoughts? Let me know. And also, as always, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. But I'm looking forward to the rest of the season to see where we can really position ourselves for next season and kind of go from there. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.